Guy Ritchie's directing. It's led by Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren, and Paddy Considine's just signed up, and you go, yes, just yes, please.
Shock and joy, I think.
Yeah.
Joy at the stuff that we get to do. I was like, oh, I can't wait to do that.
Yeah.
He's fast, Guy, isn't he? He's decisive, he's fast, he knows what he wants, and it's fun.
And then Serafina is a badass boss bitch. Am I allowed to swear? Well, I've done it now. So that.
We shake the right hands, break the wrong ones.
Well, I think we have a situation developing.
We don't ask, we take. And when someone forgets their place, I've got a man for that.
Problem solved.
There's a lot here that's a draw, I suppose. The cast, the creatives, the genre, all of that. What was it when this first came to each of you that sort of first drew you to it?
Exactly what you just said.
It's exactly what you just
said. The combination. I mean, I think both of us like, we're on board.
Well, when your agent calls and goes, there's this project, it's Guy Ritchie, Ronan Bennett's created it, Des Butterworth is writing, Guy Ritchie's directing, it's led by Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren, and Paddy Considine's just signed up, and you go, yes, just yes, please.
What I knew, the first facts I was given was the director and the actors. So Guy Ritchie, Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, Dame Helen Mirren. Instant no-brainer. I was like, I don't even need to read the script. I'm going to do this. I absolutely want to do this. And then when I found out that I would be playing a young gangster who wants to take over the family business one day, gets up to all kinds of mischief with Helen Mirren's character and Tom Hardy's character in the show, I was like, oh, this is just a dream come true.
Yeah. I loved the episode 1 when I read it. I taped for someone else, but loved it. Knew I wasn't right for them to play that part. Sent it to my team and said to them, look, I really like another role in the show. Will you check if they've made any offers? Then 2 weeks later, got a call saying they've offered you Serafina Harrigan, and I was like, that's not the role that I liked. Who is this? Who is Serafina? They then sent me the scripts, and I saw Pierce is my dad, Helen Mirren is my stepmom, Tom is our family fixer, and then Serafina is a badass boss bitch. Am I allowed to swear? Well, I've done it now. So that, and I was like, yes, no brainer, I'll do it.
This show lives within a genre, we've seen lots of sort of gang shows before. How would you say this one sets itself apart? What is it about this show that's unique?
I think it's really cool to see the gang industry, if you will. This crime empire across Europe that our family in the show dominates. From the perspective of the very top of the hierarchy, because so often you're used to seeing like street crime or like the bottom level of gang crime, which is what people could see more every day, that kind of thing. Whereas this is people that are wearing Gucci, driving Bentley Bentegas, going shopping down Bond Street, people that are at the very top of society, and yet they operate and make their money from this illegal trade. So I think that's like a really cool perspective to have on it.
And it's got heart as well. I actually think it's got a lot of heart. And as the series goes on, there's a few I can't give too much away, but there's a few storylines where I was like, I've not seen this in a gangster show before. This level of heart and you understanding the why as to why someone is the way that they are. And I think that's for me as a female as well, like being more, it's like that's beautiful to see. I think females are going to love that part of it.
Yeah, and also like we play this family with all these amazing other actors, and the family, for the most part, they really get on.
Yeah.
Your character obviously has your own little tripes with Helen Mirren's character, but other than that, this is a family that really are a very close family, despite the circumstances that they live in. And I think that's really unique as well, because it would be quite easy and obvious to say, the biggest crime family in Europe and they all hate each other and no one talks to each other. But no, these guys all live under one roof, have dinner together every night, go fishing down at the lake with, my character goes fishing with his granddad, all that kind of thing. And that's a nice, interesting angle on it as well, I think.
I think it's got its own tone, hasn't it? Now, as I said, Guy Ritchie's so successful now, he's almost his own brand. When you put Guy Ritchie on there, people know, and it's MobLand, you know what you're getting before you turn your TV on in some ways, because it's gangster, there's going to be violence, there's going to be humour, there's going to be a dark humour to it. So it has all those elements, it's going to be exciting. But I think it's got a tone all of its own. It feels like it's got a really original edge to it, doesn't it? In terms of, there's a humour to it, it's edge of your seat. The women are really strong in this, which...
It makes me laugh. Like, it genuinely makes me laugh sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it's witty, it's smart. I mean, Jez is a smart writer.
It's manipulative, it's dark, there's more layers, I think. It's more nuanced, I think, in some
no
ways.
one's particularly likeable, but you root for them. And they're all absolute messes. I feel like likeable hot messes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down for the hot mess.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got a number of different directors across this, but first up, Guy Ritchie. What was he like to work with? How does he differ from previous directors you've maybe worked
He's
with?
fast, Guy, isn't he? He's decisive, he's fast, he knows what he wants. And it's fun. It's kind of edge of the seat fun, isn't it? Which I guess is what his product is.
Yeah, he knows what he wants. He knows when he's got it. He knows when he doesn't have it. When he's got it, he's like, no, got it. It's fine. Good. Move on. And it's quick. It's pacey. It's how you would expect him to direct. And it kind of breeds confidence, doesn't it? Because you want your director to know what they want. I mean, that's the person that has the vision on the day, for the job. So that's everything you want in your director. So it was great.
He's amazing. I mean, he just keeps you on your toes. I think that's the best thing. That's the one thing I'd say. Like, it feels very alive on his set, and you're sort of like going along for the ride.
Yeah, he is totally different to any director I've ever worked with before. But then I think every director I've worked with is different to, that's the most exciting thing about our jobs, really. No 2 days are the same. And that was certainly the case on this. And we got to work with other directors on this as well. Like Lawrence Goff was brilliant, Danny Serkin, Anthony Byrne, who did a lot of Peaky Blinders. It was a real great team. And the writers as well, obviously, were just fantastic.
And you've already touched on this a bit, but what is it like working with Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren as family members? What's that? That must be a...
We're still pinching ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah, every day it'd be like, wait, what? This is real?
Yeah. And our characters actually have very specific relationships individually with Pierce and Helen's characters. So that's been really fun for us, hasn't it?
I've loved going head to head with Helen. We've had some great times of, her character hates my character, my character hates her character. So we really get to have fun. And then I've loved being daddy's girl with Pierce. Like, it's been great.
Whereas on the other side, my character, me and Helen, I don't think it's a spoiler to say we're a little bit of a team. So that's been really fun, conspiring together to cause chaos in this gang empire. Yeah.
In terms of things you can't talk about, I'm sure, even in the first couple of episodes, we've already got quite a few twists and things like that. And you can't talk about specifics. But what was your reaction to some of those later on in the season that we haven't seen yet, some of those twists as they came up?
Shock. The scripts are real page turners, I have to tell you. I mean, it was so exciting when we'd look at our inbox and you'd see first draft episode 8, and you're like, oh God, what happens now? I've been waiting for this for 6 weeks. I can't wait to see what happens next, what my character's going to get up to, because our characters get up to some pretty bad stuff in the show, which is really fun to film.
They go on proper journeys. Also, it was quite fun to see all the crew excited. Yeah. Like, all the crew be like, oh, episode 8, we've got it. Like, it was a very exciting atmosphere. But I would, through it, shock and joy, I think.
Yeah.
Joy at the stuff that we get to do. I was like, oh, I can't wait to do that.
Yeah. And it is really funny as well. So especially like Helen's lines, Pierce's lines, they just come out with absolute bangers that would just like really, really crack us up. And sometimes we were supposed to be playing really intense, deep scenes where our characters were depressed or something like that, and we're holding back tears of laughter because Helen and Pierce are just so funny in the way they deliver their lines.
Yeah, they're great.
What can you tell us about your characters when we meet them at the start of the season, and perhaps a little bit about the journey they go on?
I mean, my character, she owns a jeweller's in Mayfair. She's very business orientated, but she's also handles the money of the family as well, actually. Like, she cleans, the money. So she's coming in strong. Yeah. My
character is the only grandchild, and his dad is sort of probably the most obvious successor to... So Paddy Considine plays my dad, and he's kind of Pierce's right-hand man in terms of the way that our family business works. And obviously me being his son, I see myself as the natural heir to the throne. My character is very ambitious. He's very ruthless about how he's going to get to that position of running the family business one day. But our show is actually only set over a period of probably about 2 weeks. A lot goes on in that 2 weeks. And my character goes on a huge journey in that 2 weeks. And when you first meet him at the start of the show, he's doing some really naughty stuff. But I really wanted to try and find some light and shade in it, because people do things for a reason, you know what I mean? The way he behaves, it's all for a reason, and hopefully you'll get to learn that as the show goes on. But I won't give it away.
For anyone who hasn't seen the episodes yet, where do we kick off with Jan and Bella, and who are they? If you could introduce us to the characters.
So I played Bella Harrigan, who is the daughter-in-law of Conrad and Maeve Harrigan, played by Helen and Pierce. She's slightly run away from her own privileged background because she has a very dark, messy relationship with her father, and she's kind of then married in to an even hotter mess of a family. Paddy and my character, Kevin and Bella, have raised their son Eddie, who at the start of the show ends up on a bit of a tricky night out with an East London gang family's son, Tommy Stevenson. And it puts us all in hot water. Cue Tom Hardy, who comes in to kind of spin every plate, juggle every ball for this family, the Harrigan family that he works for. And he does it with passion, integrity, honour, and it's kind of thrilling. Like, I can't predict any of these characters' motives, moves, and that's what I kind of like about it. Go ahead, Jan.
So yes, I played Jan D'Souza, who's Harry D'Souza's wife, played by Tom Hardy, and Jan is very much the person in Harry's life who is the truth teller, if you like. Harry is top dog pretty much everywhere. You know, he works for the Harrigans, but there's a great level of respect that goes both ways between them. They have a long-standing relationship. He's their very loyal fixer, and he is 100% loyal to the Harrigans. But when he comes home to Jan, they are absolute equals. And she is the one person that he will take the truth from, or, you know, harsh truths that he wouldn't anywhere else. And she's the one person who, you know, apart from the Harrigan, she's the one person who isn't intimidated by Harry or scared of him, and she will just tell it how it is, you know, which is great fun.
I loved it on my first day with Tom. I said, oh no, he said to me, I love what you're doing. He said, Bella just brings chaos. It's such a great objective view of how her motives are received. I like that. And the man is already, I mean, Harry as a character is already dealing with so much chaos. It's kind of ridiculous. But I think the Harrigan family are just chaos.
Yeah.
And what does Jan make of Harry's world, I suppose, outside?
So Jan's complicit. She's complicit for sure. I mean, she knows what Harry does. She doesn't like to know the details, and I think that's how she sleeps at night, rightly or wrongly. I mean, wrongly, let's be honest. But yeah. So she's. I think she's been happy to take all the trappings that come with it, and the money, and the amazing apartment, and the privilege, and the power, actually. But she's now reached a time in her life where their teenage daughter is 16. I think she's seeing that she's going to flee the nest in the not too distant future. And I think Jan's looking at her life going, oh my goodness, where does that leave me? She doesn't work. They're very well off through Harry's passion for his job, for his career, for his crime career. And so it's just, yes, they think she's finding herself at a time where she's thinking, what's my role in life going to be, and are me and Harry in the place in our relationship that we should be? And I think she probably imagined they'd be swanning off to sunnier climes by this time, and sort of Harry be sort of semi-retired, but there's none of that on the horizon by any means. So Jan's a bit like, okay, where do we how do we fit back into this kind of thing? But she inevitably becomes more embroiled in the story because a war breaks out between these two major crime families, the Harrigans and the Stevensons. So, yes, Jan being a periphery on Harry's world, inner world, is absolutely dragged into that, and so is Gina, their
It's
daughter.
so tricky also because the Harrigan family are such a squeaky wheel. I mean, they literally magnetise anything and everything to them. And so his attention is constantly, you know, having to oil that squeaky wheel, and then you get pulled into this.
Yeah, and Jan's very
madness.
much like, you know, which one's your real family? The Harrigans or us? We're your real family. And I think Jan wants Harry to sort of
step up and
kind of make his real family, as she calls it,
priority,
feel that they're the priority.